个 approve 一下我东西。我 after 做到这个。
Hello, good morning. Everyone can hear my voice? Oh, yes. We will start our briefing in a short while. Now, also speak on. Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, today I'm Mr. Lee from QnE Software Company. Okay, today would like to show you or share with you regarding the e-invoice module of our QnE software. OK，大家好啊，由于今天有些顾客有要求要讲华语的，也有一些要讲英语的，那我就混合讲咯。OK，那么今天我会跟大家讲解这个 QnE 最新的 version 啊。OK，the latest version of our QnE software is 2024.107 So make sure all of your QnE are installed with this version. If not, can request our site to help you to do the upgrade. OK，如果你的 version 还不是在这个 version 的话，你可以要求我们去帮你做 upgrade 啦。OK，so just introduction of the e-invoice. Okay, as you can read the words here, then the article here, then okay, who cannot? Okay, everyone can listen to my voice because some of the audience cannot listen to what I'm saying. Okay, Mike. Okay, just go ahead. Okay, so the e-invoice is implement since August 2024. Okay, so this one August 2024 business already start their e-invoice lah. Okay, because their revenues already reached 100 million ringgit. Okay, annually. Okay, so coming soon, the phase two. Okay, will start on January 1st of January 2025. For those whose revenues are in between 25 million ringgit and 100 million ringgit. Okay, and then the final phase is on July lah, next year. So for all the taxpayer. Okay, so please take note lah on your business revenue. Please comes over, then you will need to get prepared for the e-invoice lah. Okay, so e-invoice basically is conducting business to business, okay, or business to consumer and to government, okay. which means all the transaction you need to, all the invoice you need to provide the e-invoice lah. Okay. Hmm? Hmm. Sorry. Hmm? Okay. Okay. Next is onboarding setup. Okay. So this one basically for some of the setting we have done to your QnE lah. For those we already upgrade your QnE to e-invoice version. Okay. But it could be not the latest one, but some of the setting we are already done for you lah. Okay. So the link here. Okay. Okay, the link here, okay, show you what we need to do to our QA software account. So at your company profile, this one basically we have to do for you lah. If we already upgrade your QNE to the latest version, okay. So there's a new fields to be need to be key in, lah, okay. So there's a city, state, and country here to key in, okay. And also the TIN number and the registration number. Oh. So the registration number has to be the new format if you are in Sdn Bhd, no? And then your TIN number also. And then you go to the e-invoice tab and there's a MSIC code you need to fill in. Okay. So please check your QnE lah. If this didn't update, then you need to key in. Can key in by yourself or you can ask for help. Okay. So the company letterhead also be updated after you update your company profile. So this is the new letterhead lah, by default. Okay. So previously, if your company already have your own letterhead, you may need to make a copy first. No? Make a copy first, then before you do the amendment lah. After you amend, then you can paste back your original, your default letterhead. Okay. Because the new letterhead already update for you to the registration number and the TIN number, MSIC code also, okay, and your business activity, okay. But this one you can amend later, lah, okay. So this is the company profile, okay. So make sure all your company name, address, registration number, company PIN, MSIC code, and business nature, no? And then the phone number, okay, SST number if applicable, no? And tourism number. Okay, the next one is the e-invoice setting. Okay, so e-invoice setting. Okay, this one I will show you right here. Okay, so this is my testing data. Okay, so come to e-invoice setting. Okay, you may plan to start using the feature lah. Okay, even though your business not yet start e-invoice. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to set the effective date. Okay, so if your business is start from January, then you can put on January lah. Okay, else is the last phase 3 is 1st of July. Okay, so but now I'm set for August 2024, which means I'm in the status now lah. Okay, and then the validation control. Okay, you can also start enable the control. Okay, usually we enable for customer, okay, and stock item. Okay, these two module will have a validation control for e-invoice, which means it's your customer profile. Okay, your customer profile, Okay, you find out there's a new fields to be filled in if you already enable e-invoice. Okay, for every customer, you need to fill in their registration number. Okay, and then the TIN number. Okay, and then the TIN type you have to choose. Okay, if your customer is company, example, I give an example. Let's say my company, I put QnE software company. Okay, so this is my company lah here. Okay. Uh, the registration number I have to fill in. Okay, and then the company Malaysia I have to select. Okay, as a TIN type now, and then the customer TIN number. Okay, after you key in, okay, right, when you your mouse cursor you put here, it will show you the tips lah. Okay, on how to key the TIN number. Okay, so for company TIN, it start with C. So individual, it could be IG, it could be D. Okay, depends of your company registration type lah. Okay, if it is Sendirian Berhad, basically it start from C lah. Okay, if individual personal account, it could be IG. Okay, so for foreign company, like if you select foreign company, foreign company doesn't have PIN. Okay, so here I will show you the PIN number for foreign company. Uh, okay, from this table you can see that. Okay, if individual, okay, need to show you is beside company Malaysia. If you select is foreign company, then you have to put the E10. Is it E10 now? This is the seller. This is the seller for this is the buyer from outside Malaysia, non-Malaysia. Okay. So this one you can put PIN number as this code. Okay. And then if supplier from outside Malaysia is under this code. Okay. So for government or other statutory, then you'll be this code. Okay. So for individual buyer or supplier, okay, if they don't have the PIN number, then you put as this code. If they have PIN number, then you have to coding their PIN number like IG something. Okay, so this one will be have to choose individual Malaysia. Okay, if personal lah, if company Malaysia, basically it will be D or C. Okay, this one I think most of you already know. Okay. Again, the rest I won't explain now. Basically, requirement is you need to fill in is the company name. Okay, their registration number. If SST number have, then you have to put the SST number now. And then the email, phone. Okay, and then the address. Okay, so address is you can see from here. Even though I already have put Kuching, Sarawak, and my zip code and country here. But still I need to put full address in our address line. Okay, don't ignore the postcode and the city and state. We have customer do their mistake is they just put like this and then they just set. Okay, this one will cause that later on you issue an invoice, your invoice doesn't show the postcode and Okay, the state and the city. So make sure is you put in full address. Okay, don't go and cut and paste to the new field. Okay, this is how you key in the customer. OK，我再讲一次华语的啊。OK，这顾客方面呢，你记得就是这些都要填了。OK，我再补充一下了呃，如果你在 E-Invoice setting 里面，你已经 enable 这个 Customer Validation Control 的时候，然后你 set 了之后，在你 create customer 的时候，sorry。OK，你会发现到这些红色的 field 又多出来了。OK，所以这些红色的 field 你都是必须要填的咯。OK，所以大致上要填的东西，我都有 list 在这里了，就是 business registration number，这是公司的注册号码；PIN number 就是所得税的号码。OK，然后 customer address 就是你的公司的地址。OK，当然这个所得税呢，它只是 focus 了它只是看前面两行，OK，就是说 address one 跟 two 你一定要填，OK，三个字你没有填，它不会 lock 你的，OK，可是你还是要填一些 full 的 detail 啦，就是你的 zip code city state 你还是要填在 address 里面OK，那么呢有多出来新的 field 就是 zip code、city、state 跟 country 这些你都要填OK，city 就是你的城市了，state 就是沙拉瓦了，还是如果是别的州属，你就要放别的州属。country 就是 Malaysia 咯。如果你的 team type 是 company Malaysia，你的 country 一定是 Malaysia 咯。如果你 country 是放别的国家，新加坡那些，你就要放 foreign company 就是这里你一定要放 foreign company，那么你这里你才可以选其他的国家不然你是 set 不到的，它会 block 你。OK OK 这边大家有问题吗？没有的话，我就继续去 supplier 了如果有问题的话，你们就在那个 chat box 里面，对，我们有同事会回复你们的信息的。Okay, anyone have question? Okay, you may leave your message at the chat box there. Then we have our colleague to help or answer your question. All right, now we proceed to suppliers. Okay, you found that the validation control only have customer, but why don't have supplier? Because your supplier already is a registered e-invoice company. Okay, so basically we don't validate them. Okay, unless your supplier are individual. For those who don't have e-invoice, okay, which means they cannot provide you an e-invoice. Okay, this kind of supplier, we have to help them to issue purchase invoice. Okay, because they cannot give us a valid e-invoice, yes, we need to provide them a self-bill invoice. Okay, what is self-bill invoice? Okay, like individual. Okay, example. Okay, I set myself as a self-bill supplier. Okay, this is my name. I don't have this detail. Mm, I don't have self-bill supplier here. Okay, so this supplier name is a personal name. Okay, it must be a full name. Okay, it must be a full name. Okay. Then you cannot have any bracket or remark for the supplier name. This one also the same with customer. Okay, sometimes your customer they have different outlet. Okay, example Everrise department store or something. Okay, sometimes their customer profile they will bracket the outlet Matang somewhere. Okay, this one cannot be this one LSTN doesn't recognize when you submit the invoice. Okay, because their registration they are not registered as a Matang Everrise. Okay, so this one pay attention. You must update your customer profile to individual company name. Okay, this one same with supplier. If Sandrian Bahat, those I don't want to explain already lah. The one is you can key in as normal. Okay, you can key in okay if it is Sandrian Bahat, let's say I just give one example now. Let's say this is my supplier. I have to key their registration number and the TIN number as also. Only the self bill type I put on none. Okay. For those supplier who can provide you e-invoice, basically the self bill type is none already. Okay. Then you key in the rest, the detail. Okay. And followed by the MSIC code. Okay. And then once you save, you can trace to the LSTN whether your TIN number and the business register number, okay, are valid or not. Okay. If these two are not matched in LSTN database, they will return you is invalid. Okay, example, I show you another one. Okay, like this. Let's say I just simply put a PIN number. Okay. If I click here, it will show me this one is invalid. Okay. So this one, once your QnE is linked with LSTN, you can do this to check your supplier detail. Is it correct or not? Okay. Okay, back to self-bill supplier. Okay. So self-bill supplier, you need to put as a individual taxpayer. Let's say, okay, let's say I put a name. Let's say I put myself. Okay, then this one I have to put as individual taxpayer. Okay, and then this one have to put my income tax number lah. If I don't have, then you just put this one. E This one is EI. Then you have multiple of zero there, and then the last one is 10. Okay, but even you didn't put also 10, it will generate for you. Okay, if I click, let's say this is my address, they didn't trace your physical address lah. As long as you have key in. Okay, but this one, the field you need to key in. Okay, and if you click save, it will check for you or MSIC code cannot be empty. Then you have to put MSIC code. But this one I don't have conduct business, so I put not applicable. Okay. Okay, I click save. Okay, registration number or PIN number is not update. So this one I need to put. Let's say I put my IC. Let's say okay, IC also cannot put the dash. Okay, so this one cannot. If you key the wrong one, I think you cannot save. Have to key the correct one. Or PIN number. Then you can save. Okay. So because this one don't have a PIN number, this one you cannot trace from IRB. Okay. So this how you key the self bill lah. Okay. Self bill supplier. Okay. Come to okay. So these are all the setting we need to do lah. This one currency only do for the one time setting. Okay. So for the currency, you go to maintenance currency. Okay. So basically, you only set for Malaysia lah. So this one you have to put Malaysia. Okay. And then you click save. Oh, okay. Then the next one is the payment method. Okay. Payment method. This one is optional lah. I think it's not the compulsory to set. Okay. Payment method is you can set the when you're doing the voucher, the payment voucher, you can select the payment method. It's by check or cash or bank transfer or credit card, debit card, or others. Okay. So this one you can do under the general ledger, payment method, maintenance. Okay. So from here you can click search. Okay. In the system, basically only have cash and check. If you want to create a new one, let's say bank transfer, you can put bank transfer here. Payment not. Okay, it's bank transfer. Okay. Or you can put it as do it now or something like do it now. Example. Okay. Then you click save. Okay. So this one will reflect your payment voucher. Okay. Your payment voucher, you can call the payment type, payment method. So how to call the payment method? You can right click from the screen here. You choose customize layout. Then you can see this small screen appear. Then you look for payment method. Is it inside? It's not inside. I think it's already in the screen some point. Payment by where's the payment method? Where you pay bill. Oh, it's appear at the supplier's pay bill. Okay. So form of payment here, this one will show here. Do it now. Okay. Cash check, do it now. Okay. So this is the payment method maintenance. And also if your company have a SSD, this one also basically when you upgrade to the latest version, system already update for you. If your tax code ST 10%, it will recognize as a e-invoice tax type as a 01. And for service type will be 02. Okay. Okay, this is a e-invoice onboarding setting. And then another one is your stock item. Okay, so back to our setting. So just now we did set the control for customer, and now is the for the stock item. Okay, so stock item you go to stock items. Okay, so for stock item there's a new field called classification. Okay, because government or SDN, okay, they doesn't recognize our item, so we have to provide them the item classification. So the classification code is according LSDN. Okay，所以这些 code 是所得税 set 好的 code 这个不是我们自己加的It's not created by our own, it's preset by LSDN. Okay, so the table is updated until 45 already lah. Okay, if your item type is not inside the classification, you may just put others. Okay, always put others. Okay, if you are doing construction, basically, if you are selling house, then you put land building. Okay, if you are selling PC or computer, then you can put 003. Okay, others basically, for my experience, is others. Okay. So if you didn't put this, you cannot save. Okay, for our practice, if we create our stock code, if we didn't key the classification code, you cannot save the item. Okay, so you must put at least others. Okay, then you can save the item. Okay. Okay, so for the item classification code, you can refer to LSTM website. Okay, this is the list that we are following. Currently is until 45. Okay, so then you can keep update this website. Like if there's additional new code, you can key in into your QnE classification. Okay, by click the new here. Okay, in future maybe you have 046, then you key 046, followed by the description. Follow the LSTN description. You can copy and paste to here. Then set. Okay. Okay, this is for stock classification. So if you do not know how to do, you can refer to our support website. Here also have a clear explanation. Okay. Okay, for your source screen, for your stock item source screen. Okay, when you reach to new version, e-invoice version, basically by default, you won't see so many column. Okay, you only can see uh, stock code and the category only. Okay, so here we have a guide to teach you lah how to call up the others column. Okay, so you use right click at the search screen here. This place, right click and select column chooser. Okay, so you can see the field here. You can pull all the relevant field to the column. One of them is a classification. You can click and drag to the column. Okay. And then you can assign multiple items to the classification code. You don't need to do one by one. Okay. If your previous item you didn't set for the classification, okay, you can hold the control, okay, and highlight the item. Then you click the assign classification. Then you choose to others. Then you click enter. Then the highlighted item will automatically assign to others. Okay. Okay, this is about how to create item. Okay, next is LSDN API connection. Okay, this one is the setting for all of you. You need to set up if you wish to link your system to LSDN. Okay, which means okay, we have sandbox here and production. So what is sandbox? Sandbox is a testing environment. Okay, if we want to test first your system how the operation to LCN, you can apply for sandbox. Okay, when your business conduct the officially e-invoice environment, then you need to apply for production. Okay. So 这个 LSDN API connection 就是说你要把你的 QnE link 去所得税了。OK，所以有两个情况，一个是 sandbox，一个是 production。OK，所、sandbox 是给你试用的。OK，有这些顾客我们已经 set 好了，他们是可以用 testing 的，就是说他们可以 submit e-invoice 给顾客，可是自己是假的啦，是示范的。OK，那么到你真正要实行 e-invoice 的时候，你记得你一定要用 production 哦。好，OK，所、现在我们就来到这里，OK。So this is a setting for LSDN API connection is under the e-invoice setting. Okay, the bottom part here. Okay. So before you key in the client ID and client secret, okay, you need to get the LSDN code. Okay. These two code you need to get from your my text portal. So how to do this? I'll show you. Okay. 如果你要申请示范的，你去这个 sandbox 的 link This link we will give you later after the briefing Okay. So you wish to test. Okay. For this, if you start from January, then you wish to test before January, you can apply for sandbox. But upon January, you must apply for the production. You cannot use the sandbox for January. If your invoice start already in January, you cannot use sandbox. Remember, 记得如果你还在 testing 的阶段，就是说你可能在1月开始，你可以在这个11月、12月里面用 sandbox，OK？可是到1月了，你就必须用 production，就不要在1月的时候继续用 sandbox 来 submit 你的 e-invoice。如果你是7月的，就不要紧，你可以到7月的时候才来申请这个 production OK，那么从现在开始到6月 30号，你还是可以用这个 sandbox 来 test 的。到7月1号的时候，所有人都必须在 production 哦。OK，所、怎样去申请这个 sandbox 呢？哦，so how to apply for sandbox? This one you can refer to the link here. Okay. So here we'll explain for you lah what is the sandbox. Okay, it's a testing environment. Okay. Okay, so basically you need to go to this website lah, preport.mytext.hasil.gov.my. Okay, so when you come to this my tax portal, you need to log in your income tax account lah, according your company lah. If you are using Sendirian Berhad, you have to use your Sendirian Berhad login. If you are sole proprietor, you have to use your personal login. Okay, after login, you select individual. Okay, you go to my invoice here, select pre-port, and then you select individual. Okay，当你 log in 了之后，log in 进来，你会看到这个界面。OK，然后你去上面这边 click My Invoice，OK，然后你选 Report，Report 就是 testing 了，OK，testing environment 哦，然后你再选 Individual，Individual 里面就会看到你的公司了，你必须要用你的公司的名字去 apply 了啊，不能够随便拿一个人的来用，不可以的，好。然后你 after click the individual, you come to this page, okay? Then you go to view taxpayer profile. It's under here, okay? And then scroll down, go to ERP, okay? And then select register ERP, okay? So under the ERP name, you put QnE Optimum. And then the client secret expiration, you put 3 years. And then you click register. Okay. After you register, you get the code. Okay. Please copy the code because this code only generate one time. Okay. You open the notepad, copy down all the code. Okay. Save a copy. Okay. Because next time you come in, it will give you a different code already. Okay. So you copy this code and then paste here. Okay. Which means in new version is like this So you go to this is the guideline This is the configuration. So key in the code and then click OK. Make sure you are in sandbox. Then you click on connect. Once connect, it will show you connect successful. And then here you have the status as connected. Okay. Which means in this status, you can issue e-invoice already. Okay. Okay, this is a sandbox. So for production, if you are start on January, you need to apply for production. Okay. Actually, the step are slightly the same lah. Just they go to the different website. This one is the official mytax.hasil.gov. Not the report already. Okay. So from here, you need to sign in your income tax account, and then you select your company. Okay, then you go to my invoice, and then you go to view taxpayer profile. Okay. Also the same way you need to do the ERP, key in the QnE Optimum and 3 years, and click on register. Okay. Also the same, you need to copy the client ID code and the secret code. Okay. And then you select on production and then you paste on the key accordingly and then click on connect. This is for production. Okay. Okay, another one is the QnE intermediary. Okay. This one also need to, okay, at the same time you are in the same, no matter in sandbox or production, this you need to do also. Okay, so during your my tax, you go to your taxpayer profile. Just now we are at ERP. Okay, now we go to intermediary. So here you can click add intermediary. Okay, here we have the slide for you. You key in accordingly. This is our QnE Optimum Seminar Berhad because QnE Optimum Seminar Berhad have registered with the ISDN as their e-invoice partner. Okay, so this is our QnE Optimum Seminar Berhad team number and the business registration number and the company name. Okay, you key in accordingly. Okay, and then you click on the search button. Okay, so here is the access right, permission. We call it permission. Okay, so have to make sure all click enable lah. Okay, the document submit, cancel, reject. Okay, and view notification. Okay, all have to enable and then click save. Okay, so that's it for QnE intermediary. Okay, so API connection. Okay, this is the three things I show you, and then the ISO currency code. Just now I already show you on this one. This one, when you submit e-invoice, they also recognize the currency code, MYR, because we use RM. When come to income tax, they only recognize MYR. Okay, so they will convert the ringgit to MYR once they do the submission. Okay. Okay. So come all the setting has done now. Now is a transaction side. Okay. So for transaction, for those involved for e-invoice submission is sales invoice. Okay. Cash sales debit note, sales credit note, and customer refund. Okay. Which means it's a refund note lah. And then come to transaction is your payment voucher, supplier bill, and then your self-bill invoice. Okay, self-bill invoice you need to submit. Okay, and then debit note also, credit note also for self-bill. Okay, for non-self-bill you no need to submit. Okay, but you can validate the e-invoice from your from LSDN because your supplier already submit for you. You just need to validate. Okay, is it true copy or is it a true e-invoice? Okay, it is a valid e-invoice. Okay, and also supplier refund. Okay, also need to submit. Okay, okay. So how to submit a validate sales invoice? Okay, you can refer to this slide. Okay, basically when we key in our sales invoice, basically all the detail has to be tally lah, including the registration number, PIN number, okay, and the classification code. Okay, have to key as usual. Then you click save. Okay, after save, then you click on submit e-invoice. So when you click submit e-invoice, it will check all the things here. If it's correct, then it will return you the status as valid. Okay. If you see the status is pending, which means you not yet submit the e-invoice lah. Okay. Okay, so once you submit, you click on submit e-invoice, it will show you the dialogues here. This is the summary of your submission. If you confirm, then you click submit. Okay. So currently our version, after you click on submit, when it is success, which means you cannot do any amendment. But in fact, there's a 72 hours allowance for you to do amendment. But currently, our version still not yet can do the amendment. Maybe you have to wait next version. Okay. So, okay. Once you click on submit, it will list submitted. Then you see the loading screen loading for a few seconds. Then it will return you as valid. Okay. So after the invoice has submit, you can see there's a unique identify number. Okay, this is the code returned from LSTM. Okay, so this is a valid invoice already. So you can print out the sales invoice with e-invoice QR. Okay, so this is the layout for sales invoice in e-invoice status. Okay, with invoice information valid, and then the unique identify number, and then the validated date. Okay, and also the QR code provided to you. You can use your cell phone, your camera to scan the QR. Okay, you will come to LSTM website. Okay, it will show you the detail for the sales invoice. Okay, so amount is correct or not, and then company, and then the invoice number, and then the UUID. Okay, so this one is have to be matched. Okay, okay. If you don't want to scan from using your phone, you can also come to the e-invoice tab. Okay, invoice tab. There's a button here. Okay, after you submit, when you get the UID, basically here we'll have a button. You click the button here, it will show you the LSDN document detail. Okay, so this is the detail for the document, and then you go to the validation result. Okay, if success, basically you show successfully lah. If your submit are not successful, it will return you as invalid. Okay, if invalid, you can come here, validation result. You can check what is the error, why is invalid. Okay, like this case is customer pin is invalid. Okay, then you go and check your customer pin, either you have key in wrongly or something else. Okay. Okay, if submission is valid, you can go to the QR here. You can click the link here. Also, you will come to the website, the LSTM website, to show you the result lah. Okay. This one is the XML format for the document. This one not important for us. Okay. Okay, so what if our customer is a walk-in customer? Because some customer we not need to every time every customer we have to create account for them. Okay. Then for walk-in customer, you have to create as a individual account lah. Okay. But some customer they might didn't want e-invoice. When your customer walk in, they buy something for you, but they didn't request for e-invoice. In this case, the customer you have to select as a general public. Okay. General public, then you have to put the code here. So for general public customer, you cannot submit e-invoice for them. Okay. This one you need to do as a consolidated e-invoice. Okay. Okay. 再讲一次啊，这个是 cash sale 顾客。OK，有一些顾客他们 walk in 的顾客他们没有要求要 e-invoice。OK，这类型的顾客你可以用 general public。OK，general public 的话你就不需要给他们的那个所得税号码咯，只是用这个 code，IC 也不需要给了。OK，这种情况下你在 cash sale 里面你是 submit 不到这个 e-invoice。OK，如果你是选这类型的顾客的话，他他是不可能给你 submit e-invoice 的咯，因为他没有 IC，又没有 PIN number 嘛。OK，不到业尾我们还是要全部组合起来一次过 submit 了，不是这种一张一张单 submit 的咯。OK。Okay, so for when you issue a cash sales, you key in your customer code. Okay. Then you come to the customer tab. Okay. So in cash sales, you notice that this field are open for edit. Okay. It's not according your customer profile. Okay. If debtor, okay, let me show you here. Maybe through my screen here. Okay. If you are using sales invoice, if you are using sales invoice, basically any customer you selected, okay, when you come to customer tab, you notice that register number, PIN number are locked. Okay, you cannot amend because all these details are follow to your customer profile. Okay，是根据你的顾客的这个 maintenance 里面的 setting 的，所以在 sales 的时候你是不能做更改的。OK。Okay, but when you come to cash sales, you notice that the customer tab here, you can do selection. Okay, you can do selection for this field. Okay, and also you can key the PIN type. You can key the register number, PIN number, font, and others. Okay, because you use a walk-in customer. Walk-in customer which means their detail are not fixed one. So you can key in here. Uh, okay, you can key in here and then the PIN type. If the customer doesn't provide you a PIN number, you just select as general public. Okay. If general public, you can do submit e-invoice. Okay. If you click on submit e-invoice, you will return you the error. E-invoice cannot be submitted for customer PIN type classified as general public. Okay. As they do not require e-invoice. Okay, this mechanism should be submitted as consolidated e-invoice. Okay, Later on, I will show you what is consolidated e-invoice. Okay. So basically, if you want to submit as e-invoice, you need to select others, right? Like company Malaysia, individual Malaysia. Okay. Even though government. Okay. Government also. Okay. So this is how to issue a valid invoice lah, no? Okay. So it's the same thing like others. Okay. Debit not, credit not, refund not. Okay. All are the same. Okay. So I won't go and explain one by one now. But something I need to mention is when you issue a debit note or credit note, no matter it's sales or purchase lah, you must always attach the sales invoice reference. Okay，就是说你如果要开 debit note 或者是 credit note，你必须要提供 invoice 号码。也就是说，假设你开了一张 invoice，给你要给顾客折扣，要给 discount。If you wish to give discount, you need to issue a sales credit note. Okay, then your sales credit note you have to refer back to which invoice number。就是说你的 discount 是扣在哪一张 invoice，你必须跟 SDN 说你是扣在哪一张 invoice 号码。OK，然后你 submit 的时候，你的 UUID 它会告诉你这个是哪一张 invoice。然后那张 invoice 的 UID 也是会出现在你这个 debit note 里面，或者是 credit note 里面。OK，so 在 so in the sales debit note and sales credit note, when you go to e-invoice tag, basically you can see beside UUID and also there's an original UUID. Okay, original UID it could be an invoice or it could be a debit note. Okay. Okay, so please take note for this one. Okay, 如果if after 72 hours after submission, if you want to do cancellation for the invoice, okay, you can refer to this slide. Okay, so how can I cancel a validated e invoice? So assuming this one is a valid invoice, when you go to cancel an invoice, our practice is you go to edit, mark as, okay, cancel. Okay, so if you want to cancel beside reset beside issue credit note, you also can do cancel lah. If you cancel, is you select cancel and then you will see this dialog box appear. You have to key the reason for cancellation. Okay. Okay. Please take note. This one cancellation. Once you click OK, is considered submitted lah. Because there's no confirmation for you want to submit or not. After you click on this OK, immediate it will return you as cancel already. Okay, and then you cannot do reverse. Okay, you cannot uncancel the invoice because this one already sent out to LSDN already. So LSDN there already updated as cancel already. So if you accidentally cancel the invoice, then you have to reissue a new invoice. Okay. Okay. Also, same with self bill. Okay. Self bill purchase invoice also can cancel, lor. But this one also you need to key the reason, lah. Okay. Okay. This is after 72 hours after submission, lah. Okay. Uh, okay. How to retrieve supplier unique identifier number. Okay. So this one I will show you manually, lah. Okay. Example, I as a supplier. Okay. I as a supplier, I do a invoice. Okay. My company is QnE software company. Okay. I bill to myself. Okay. This is my previous practice. Huh? I bill to myself. Okay. So basically, you see the customer profile, this everything are valid already. So I just charge anything. Maybe I supply something, something I supply. This one is a food product. Okay. Example, I supply 100 unit. Okay, the cost is 2.4, and then the total amount is 264. Okay, then I click save. Okay, and then you see the e-invoice status is appear on pending. Okay, so now I want to do submission for e-invoice. I click submit e-invoice. Okay, then you can see the summary here. Okay, so 264. So from here you can submit as an item classification, because I already put classification code as 022. Okay, I submit detail by item classification. Then I click on confirm. Then they start sending my invoice to LSTM. Okay, so now my invoice are submitted. Then this return me result as valid. Okay, so now I got my e-invoice already. Okay, so this is my preview for e-invoice lah. Okay, this is my e-invoice. Okay, I have valid status here. I have the QID. I have the QR code. Okay, if you use your handphone, you can scan my QR code. You can see the detail of from LSTM lah. Okay, or you can click on here. Click on the button here. Okay, you can see the status is valid. Okay, this is the invoice number. You have the UUID, submission ID. Okay, the submission time, date and time, validated date and time. Okay, the result is nothing like because it's valid already, unless there's a invalid status. So QR code, this is the QR code. If you click on the link here, you can see from LSTN website, this one is pre-port. Okay, pre-port means testing one. Okay, testing environment. No? So this is the detail for the e-invoice. Okay, so okay, now the invoice is submitted. Now I'm as a customer. I do, but I have to key in as supplier invoice. The purchase invoice. Okay. So refer to the invoice just now. This is the invoice number. Okay. So back to here, purchase invoice. Now I am as a customer. I do a purchase from my supplier. Okay, my supplier is QnE software company. Okay, supplier invoice number. I key in accordingly, and then I key in the item also. What is the item? We refer back the invoice. Okay, this is the stock code. So I key in as purchase invoice. Okay, means I do a purchase. Okay, so 100 unit. So 2.64. This is my cost. Okay, I already key in the invoice number. Then I click save. This is usually your practice, right? So key in the purchase invoice. But then at the e-invoice tab here, it show pending. Okay. So now you want to retrieve the UUID. Okay. Then how to retrieve? You can click here. You click this button. It will return you the error, which means you didn't key the supplier detail. Data not found in my invoice. Please confirm supplier registration number, invoice number are filled out accurately. Show error. Okay. This one you need to check out all the detail you key in are correct or not. Maybe the PIN number I key in are wrong. Okay. Basically, in real practice, this one, if it is matched to LSDN, it will return you the UID from the my invoice here. Usually, this one will be returned to you, lah, which means you no need to key in. You no need to key in by your own. Okay. Okay. Now it's very early. I don't know why because last time I do practice is I click this it will update me. Now I have to paste my myself. Okay. Okay. Now once I click save, it will return me it's valid already. Okay. So this is how you retrieve the UUID. Lah. Okay. Beside purchase invoice at supplier bill, you also can retrieve the UUID. Okay. But in payment voucher, you cannot. Payment voucher because if you go to GL, you go to payment voucher or receiving voucher. This one the UUID you cannot click to retrieve. Okay, because you don't have provide the supplier detail. Okay. So for normal bill entry, you can do the retrieve for UUID. Okay, how to reject a validated invoice, which means your supplier or your supplier invoice you a invoice, or you invoice issue an invoice to your customer, they can do a reject. Okay, so how to do reject? So if you receive the invoice, okay, you need to key in as usual, even though the invoice number, supplier detail, okay, then you have to validate it as a valid invoice. Okay, after valid, then you can do the reject. It's not you ignore everything, you don't what you ignore everything, you don't update to the system. Like that, you cannot you cannot do the reject. Okay, even though they bill you wrongly, you still need to key in as according to what they are invoiced to you, and then you go to do the reject. How to do reject? You go to edit, mark as reject. Okay. Okay. For reject, you have to key the reason. Okay, the unit cost is wrongly updated. Okay. Once you click OK, it will return you as the reject. But still, the purchase invoice is shown as valid lah. Just you have the status of reject. Okay. So basically, if your purchase invoice is valid, basically you will have double entry provide for you. But if you do cancellation or reject, it will not showing you the double entry. Even though your document is there, but you don't have a GL transaction in your ledger. Okay. Mm. This one is the power search. Okay, power search is the tools for you to check the debt period. Okay, and then any invoice which are still pending or which are already submitted or which are already valid. Okay, which are already reject uh, or request expired also have. If you click on reject, doesn't mean that the invoice truly reject lah. You still have to wait for process lah. Okay. Okay. This is how to reject the invoice. Okay. So how to create self bill invoice. Okay. So when you facing someone which are not conducting a business, and then they cannot issue you e-invoice, then you have to create self-bill e-invoice. So how to do self-bill e-invoice? Okay. So as just now I did explain, your supplier has to be individual taxpayer. Okay. If you put none, basically it's already a e-invoice registered company lah. But if individual, you have to put as individual taxpayer, okay, and then their IC, and then followed by their address and their contact, okay, their email as well. Okay, then you start do a purchase invoice. Okay, example, this this guy is a this person is a charge for designer fee. They're providing service to your company, but they don't have own a company, so you have to issue a self-bill e-invoice for them. So you key in their detail and then what they charge to you. Okay. After that, you click save and submit. Okay, so this is a submission for self-bill e-invoice. So this is a summary. Once confirmed, you click confirm. So it will return you as a valid. So this one will declare as your supplier Chan Xiaomen. This one is Chan Xiaomen. Her income. This one will declare as his or her income. Okay. So you can print out the self-bill invoice. This one you give to him. Okay. Yeah. But if your supplier is a company, basically it's none. Okay. Then if you this one just like just now I show you, you have to put the UUID to retrieve the status which is valid. Okay, so for self-bill is none, you no need to click on submit e-invoice. Okay, only self-bills e-invoice you need to submit. Okay, okay, now come to the almost the last one. Okay, how to create consolidated sales invoice, sales e-invoice. Okay, so for consolidated e-invoice, because you compose everything submit together. Okay, without the customer PIN and registration number. Okay, that's all you submit together on next month. Let's say this month is November, right? So your next submission is the first 7 day of December, which means the last day of submission is 7th of December. Okay, then all you will have collect as one submission. So you go to e-invoice and then you go to consolidated sales. Okay, I can show you from my screen. Go to e-invoice, you go to consolidated e-invoice, and then you click consolidated. Okay, so your transaction, if let's say is November, okay, your document that has to be December. Okay, so the document to submit is cash sale, sales invoice, credit note, and debit note. Okay, then you click generate. Okay, so this is December one. Okay, this one I already do 2 times for November. Okay, so that's why I have two document here. But if you want to combine as one, you have to delete everything here and delete everything here. Okay, delete the November one and you regenerate the document. Okay, let's say it's 1st of December. I want to submit all the document during November. Then I click generate. It will generate as what because okay. You can see that this it will separate for you is because I have credit note and sales invoice. So the submission is separate into two documents, which means I have to submit 2 times. Okay. So let's say we go to the first one, consolidated e-invoice. Okay. This is the document those I didn't submit as individual. Okay. You can double click to see the detail. Okay. This company, because they didn't give me PIN number, I put as general public. Okay. This kind of invoice, I cannot submit e-invoice. Okay. That's why I can only do consolidated. Okay. So everything, if you confirm is correct, then you click submit. So this is the summary. Then you click confirm. Okay, submission success is valid. So you come to the e-invoice here. The status show you is valid. And then you have the UUID here. Then you can print out the consolidated e-invoice. This is the consolidated e-invoice. Okay. So all those invoice you didn't submit individual will submitted as consolidated e-invoice. Okay. You have the QR code also, and then the UUID. Okay. So this information will update to each individual invoice e-invoice status. Okay. Let's say for this one, you go to e-invoice. You notice that the status is appear as consolidated e-invoice, but at this part is still pending. Okay. Because you are not submit as individual. So this part is always pending. We only focus on consolidated e-invoice. Okay. As long as either one side is valid, then it consider as is already valid lah. Okay. And also you need to submit the credit note because they are separate. For CN also need to submit. Okay. Successful. It's valid. So come to e-invoice, status show you valid. Then you have the UUID. Okay. So back to the credit note. Also the same, the credit note show you individual as pending, but consolidated is valid. Okay. And also you have the UUID here. Okay. All right. Okay. This almost there lah, the e-invoice function. Okay. So you also can do the same as for the self bill. Okay, it's the same way. This one I no need to show you again. Okay. Okay, now you are in under preparation stage. Okay. So first thing, uh, how to update your customer information. Okay, because you have plenty of customer detail. Maybe you have short of time to update them. Okay, because you have, let's say, for my record, I have 9,000 customer here. Impossible. I'm going to update one by one. The city and the state. Okay. And then save and then go to the next customer and do the same thing. Okay. There's a few way for you. Not a few, one way. Okay. So you can refer the slide here. How to import your AR customer. Okay. So you can get the table from this link. Okay. QnE provide you a link to download the Excel template. Okay. So you can key in all the required information. Okay. Or you can use the existing customer profile, export to Excel using the IO. Okay. You go to your customer search screen, press Ctrl A to select all customer. Then right click, choose IO, choose export, and then press Excel. Okay. Then you save the file. Okay. And then you open the Excel file. You can see the detail like this. Okay. So you fill in accordingly. Okay. Pay attention. The company name has to be the official name, not the one you have add some remark at behind or something. Okay. And then the registration number have to be new format. Okay. This format are not acceptable. Okay. Must use this format for Senang Berhad. Okay. And then you cannot use dash. Any dash sign you cannot use. Okay. Or any symbol are not acceptable. Not acceptable. Okay. So this is the sample lah. So how to key. Okay. How to key the detail. Okay. So for customer maintenance, this is the compulsory field now. Registration number, address, because it is compulsory to fill lah, but they didn't trace the address lah. Okay. But you need to update at the you can update at the address column. Okay. And then followed by the city, zip code. Okay. Okay. For special code represents like state, okay, country and thing type. Okay. So state, they use numbering to control. If Sarawak, you put 13. Okay. At the Excel column for Sarawak, the state, you put 13. City, you can city is not table controller. That one you can key in according your words. And then the country, okay, country for Malaysia, the country list, you can click from the list here. So Malaysia is so Malaysia is 158. Okay. So basically you update your country column. You use 158. Okay. Zip code, of course, is the postcode lah. Okay. And then the team type, company Malaysia, you put 1. Individual Malaysia, you put 3. Okay. Foreign company, you put 4. Okay. General public, you put 5. Okay. So e-invoice validation, basically we put 0. Okay. So we maintain 0. Okay. So after you fill in, now you want to do the import. Okay. So you at the customer search screen, you just right click at the search screen, you click import from. Okay. Import from, then you select your Excel file. After you select your Excel file, you prompt up the column, okay, to preview the, the column here. Then you click next, and then you click guest mapping. It will map for you to our QnE field. Then you click import, and then you start import the customer profile. Then until finish, you click finish. Then you notice that your detail are updated. Okay, so this is how the faster way to update your customer profile. Okay. Okay, and also you can check whether your customer profile have update or not. Okay. So if you go to e-invoice here, there's a e-invoice advisor. So e-invoice advisor here will show you all the customer which their detail are incomplete. Okay, like didn't have TIN number. Okay, like didn't have register number, or you have register number but it's in old format. Okay, or even though registrations you have register number but you don't have a TIN number. Okay, okay, any kind of reason lah. As long as the detail information are incomplete, it will appear in this e-invoice advisor. Okay. Okay, so if you are worried that some invoice you miss out to submit, okay, maybe you forget to submit. Okay, so how to check? You can use the e-invoice power search. Okay, so e-invoice power search is also under e-invoice. Okay, so e-invoice power search, you key in the date accordingly, and then you click on inquiry. So it will list to you those which are still under pending, or you are failed to submit is invalid. Okay, for those are submitted, how many are submitted, how many are valid, okay, how many are cancelled, okay, how many are cancelled internally. Okay, cancel internally is mean cancel before you submit. Okay, so reject requested, which means is after submission then you do a cancellation. Okay, and then reject request expired, which means is those rejected are not taken action from your supplier or your customer. Okay, consolidated is the consolidated e-invoice. You already submit as consolidated e-invoice. Okay, during that period. Okay, so this is for you to check. Okay, so for pending e-invoice, I submit all together? Answer is yes. You can check all and click submit. But this one might take time consuming lah, because they want to check one by one. Okay. So once you click submit, you have to wait quite a while to complete the submission. So basically, recommended to submit individually lah. Okay. So okay, can I restrict access to validate invoice by user? The answer is yes lah. You can control your user who to do the submission. Okay, maybe you don't want to let your building clerk or the building person to submit. You can set the user role to restrict their access, which means that only can save the invoice but they cannot do the submit for the e-invoice. Okay, only the person, maybe the administrator can do the submit, or the person which are assigned to do the submission can do the submission only. Okay. Okay. This is my sharing today. Any question that I have to answer? Huh? Any question you can raise up so we can answer your question. Huh? Oh,
如果你们要拿到刚才那个 training 的 slide 你 WhatsApp 去我们 office 的那个 WhatsApp 号码0168636638，你去看那个 message 上面。So anyone that if you want to get the today's training slide, you send a WhatsApp to our company WhatsApp number 016-X63-6138.
okay. Entire construction. What is the difference between purchase invoice and bill? Okay. Let me give you a idea lah. Okay. Okay. Purchase invoice, you need to key in stock code. Okay. And only purchase invoice you can do the submit e-invoice. Okay. If you have customer who is using, I mean, you need to issue self-bill invoice. You need to use purchase invoice. Okay. You cannot use supplier bill to do the self-bill. Okay, because bill for supplier bill, it doesn't have the submit in e-invoice function. Okay. So for self-bill purpose, you need to use purchase invoice. Okay. Okay. May I answer your question? Entire construction. If there are a lot of branches registered under one company, how will the registration company indicate? Basically, they are use the same registration number and PIN number. Basically, only you can use the one registered name. If different branches, I think you have to use the address to indicate. Okay, because in our QnE, you have customers here. Under your customer profile, you can add the deliver address. Under deliver address, you can indicate the different branches. Okay. You can key in the different branch code, then the branch name, and then the branch address. Okay. And then upon the invoicing, you are using one customer account. And then PO address, you can select from the different branches. Okay. You can select from the different branches. And then if you want to print out your invoice, you can show billing address and the deliver address. Okay. Okay. So cannot put Mr. and Miss YB the top. Yeah, it's name as per IC lah. For self bill must be used purchase invoice. Yes, correct. So for purchase invoice, okay, let me show you again. So for purchase invoice, okay, let's say you want to key a self bill for a renter. Okay, the owner is an individual person, and then he or she doesn't have own a business. Then you have to create as a self bill. Okay, so you can create like this. Okay, let's say because in purchase invoice we must use itemized. Okay, and LSTN also recognize itemized only. Okay, because yeah, under invoice requirement you need to put quantity, UOM, unit price. Okay, these are all the required field for LSTN. Because if you use bill, you cannot key this kind of field. Okay, then you have to use purchase invoice. Okay, so let's say example I want to bill rental. Okay, so basically at your ledger here, chart of account. Let's say I have expenses. Maybe I create a dummy expenses. Okay, I go to stock item. I put a code called expenses. Okay, so the name is called expenses. So the classification I put 022. Then I click save. Okay, so in purchase invoice, you just call out the self bill customer lah. Any self bill customer, any customer now. Then you bill the expenses. Okay, so self bills supplier, so they bill you the expenses. Let's say this one is the rental. I put a rental for shop house. Okay, for November 2024. Okay, so this one is 1 month. No? So the UOM you can create as 1 month. Okay, the rate you put 1. Okay, then you click save in cross. So this one charge 1 month. Let's say it's 2,500. It's the rental. Okay, so here maybe at your screen you don't have the GL account now. So you can call out the GL account. So how to call out? You use the right click here, column chooser. Okay, column chooser, you can call for GL account. You can drag to the column. Okay, so this one is by default setting is 200, 800. This one is other account line. But from here, you can point it to your rental account. So I have created two rental, is either one. Let's say R005. Okay, so from here, I click save, then I can do the submit one. Okay, assume that my detail are correct lah. Okay. All right. After submit, then you do the payment. Lor. Okay, you go to supplier pay bill. Okay, you pay to this 800 A001. So you pay for the rental lah. Let's say this one is rental. Okay, the description you can update at the others here. Rental. Okay. So here you can recall again the sorry, supplier pay bill. Yeah, here appears rental. So you do the payment for rental. Okay. Last time your practice is use payment voucher lah. Okay. But for set bill we have to do in this way. So other than this, you have other choice lah. You can use cash purchase. If you don't want to use payment, if you don't want to use pay bill or you don't want to use purchase invoice, you can use cash purchase. Okay. Cash purchase, you also can call out the GL account. Okay. And then you straight away payment by your cash or bank. But this one, the running number is not use your payment number lah. It's use the cash purchase number. Will be another set of number already, but still can fulfill the payment for your rental lah. So, okay, so many messages. So feel okay. If we pay on behalf, can you issue rental invoice from supplier via issue? For e-invoice I have received from my supplier. Is it just need to issue purchase invoice as usual and retrieve the e-invoice status? Yes. If the invoice already submitted by your supplier, basically you can retrieve the UID. Okay. So purchase invoice, you enter as usual. Okay. Then you update the UID here. Then you click save. Then it will return you as a valid here. Please answer my question. Tracy Pay, what is your question? Can we issue rental invoice from supplier bill? Okay. If your supplier own a company, which means they can issue you an e-invoice, it's a valid e-invoice, then you can key in as a supplier bill. Okay. Only okay, Mr. Fu did answer your question on 11:56 there. Okay. Personal, you have to issue self-bill e-invoice. Just now I did show the sample, right? Okay. So you key in, you use the stock code, okay, called expenses. So any expenses can use this stock code, okay. Then you key in the description, followed by the quantity UOM and the unit price. Then you get the amount. And then you indicate the GL account for these expenses, okay. So this one is a rental. So my GL account I will put as a rental here. Okay, rental. So this is a rental in my GL account. Okay. Then here I will key in the receipt number or something like. Usually they will give you a receipt number, right? Okay. Then you click save. Then you submit. Okay. Usually this kind of bill you generate a GL for you. You can go to info here, GL account. Okay. This is the basic double entry lah. Debit the rental, credit the owner of the rental. Okay. This is the double entry. Okay. If you use supplier bill, you can key in, but you cannot do the validation. But for self bill, you must use purchase invoice. Okay. This is for sure already. For other than self bill, you can use bill entry. Okay. Huh? Okay, the landlord also need to create a supplier code. Huh? Personal landlord also the same, have to create supplier code. Any other question? If not, we can, or if you have question, you can ask me personally lah. I'm Mr. Lee. Or you can ask our colleague also. I was.
Kami di ngau apa cantik ah? Mau tua makai. Okay. Kedua ya kakak cantik.
Bro, Veronica. Any question? If not, then we end today briefing. So any question you still can refer to me lah. Thank you for joining.不知道几个